Origin of me.
Lois lame. Welcome to, and yes, she is lame. Welcome to Comics League Dark. Sorry, Robert.
Sorry, it was on mute.
Sure, it was. Welcome to Comics League Dark. I'm Jared. I'm here with Robert. What's up, man?
Happy birthday, man!
Thank you very much. Yes, today we're doing a little happy birthday Q&A and general topic discussion, but we'll just be hanging out mostly. But yeah, oh my gosh, so much stuff is happening. But
much stuff.
Well, let's start with something positive. So Elsa Bloodstone is in Marvel Rivals. So Robert, explain to people who don't know who Elsa Bloodstone is. And thank you, NJ.
Elsa Bloodstone is a British monster hunter. That's about as much as I know. Remember what I've said before. Marvel, I have more blind spots too.
Yeah, me too. It's one of those occasions where whenever she's used, I'm like, who?
You have to remember, for me, DC is where I live. Marvel's my summer home.
Yeah, that's the same thing.
Yeah, but here in Rivals, though, dude, she is awesome.
Yeah. I'm glad they kept her gun thing and all that stuff. Here, what's up, Walter Johnson?
The breathing gun.
Yeah, but yeah. So,
which I recall that from because Blade has used it before. That was in Death Battle.
And I love how they've, again, I'll say this again. I love how in Marvel Rivals, characters are allowed to be hot. That's kind of important.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very important, ladies and gentlemen.
I got to point out that Marvel Toko, since I'll mention that up. The fact they brought Danger in there, and people are like, who the hell's Danger? It's like,
it's a Danger
really?
Thing, right?
Yeah. From He Who Should Not Be Named that did both Justice League and Avengers. He created her.
He destroyed Justice League.
Oh, but you get my point. He created her.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly.
Which I will give him props for that.
Yeah, that was kind of, that storyline is not bad. It's just, it's attached to a writer that I don't respect in terms of like what he's done for DC stuff.
Yeah, but that comic run in general was good.
In general, it was pretty good. I'll give it that. That is one of my top X-Men runs. He gets Emma's voice really well.
Yep,
being all snarky and such. But yeah, but so it's so I do like this. The other thing I really like about Rivals is that they're adding a lot of those characters that like no one, like, I know some people have heard of Elsa Bloodstone, obviously, but it's like that, like mainstream people will not have heard of.
Yep. And I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I feel like her being included, the way her ult works, makes me feel like they could do Moon Girl with Devil Dino. But then again, no, I'm not sure. Should Devil Dino just be reversed? And what can Moon Girl do without Devil Dinosaur?
The only thing that they could possibly do is like have the dinosaur charge. But the problem with
which is exactly what Elsa's brother does. Her little brother.
The problem with Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur is that you have to then make the maps big enough for like a T-Rex.
Yep, again, unless that's the ult. And that's all she is.
But even still with that, I'm like, okay, wait a minute here.
What to say though, with Elsa, that's what her ult is. It's a monster.
Thank you, Tavia. But yeah, I'll give you that. But
that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying this shows it's feasible, but I'm not sure.
Interesting. What they could do, here's what they could do. Just make the dinosaur slightly smaller, and then just have it do the charge thing. That's the way to do it.
And that you ride on him.
Yeah, exactly. That's the best they could do. Otherwise, I would say don't. Because here's the thing. I would say just have Moon come up with another power. But the problem is she's so associated with that red T-Rex.
Exactly, because remember, it's Moon Boy, Moon Girl, either one.
Yeah, and plus her thing is Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. That's what people know her as.
Well, yeah, because again, it comes with the character.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and Tevye says they could have Danger.
Yeah, well,
I
just
could
said
see
that. I
Danger
just
being
said
the
that.
skin for Ultron, actually.
Yeah, well, that's true. Well, that's true. I'm saying, but yeah, Danger is in Token.
Yeah. So
But
yeah.
the same voice as Luna.
Ah, there you go. There you go.
Now, by the way, since I'm looking at the game, I have the game loaded up right now because that's to look at with Elsa. And I look at my Hela skin being Queen in Black, which makes me have to realize it was something else we should mention. Who's going to be in the next issue of Storm? Who's finally going to make a main continuity appearance?
Explain.
Galacta!
Yeah, so that's the funny part because Brevoort went on a tirade saying that he doesn't want the Marvel Comics direction to be dictated by like exterior media, like the like I almost said like the comics.
Which, okay, to be fair, who does?
Well, yeah, but the problem is then Marvel keeps doing it.
Exactly, but it seems like I think Rivals caught him unaware, but then they're just trying to catch up and shoehorn things again. Queen in Black with Hela.
That makes me think that maybe Marvel sales aren't that good, and that's why they're all of a sudden like, okay, do Marvel Rivals.
Which I bet you Brevoort is pissed.
Oh, he should be. He should be.
I mean, I'll be honest, I would be.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like
I say, look, as much as I really do not care for Brevoort, I do feel a little bad for him in that regard, like having to have so much stuff taken away.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm not like I see the thing about Brevoort is that he works best if he's in a certain book range, but he doesn't work well with Spider-Man, and Lord knows he doesn't work well with the X-Men.
Exactly. The Avengers he worked good on.
Avengers he worked great because you had BMB on Avengers, and that was like one of the best runs.
And Tevia, I just said she's coming to main continuity, so yeah, she had been.
Yeah, she had been. So I guess they wanted to like make her canon again.
And
also,
the Storm book though.
Also, Storm is getting a daughter. Interesting.
But we don't know who the daddy is yet.
Speaking of Marvel, how do you feel about Null having a light power now? Because okay, let's talk about that real quick because we're done with Elsa. MJ is now has gotten her own official Venom suit, and it looks horrible.
It's all right.
At least she looks like a woman Venom now.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I more feel like what took them so long to get to this point.
I think that see, here's the thing. They probably at first wanted it to be like there's a mystery there. Because,
agreed. Yeah.
But it's like once you figure out who it is, once they reveal who it is, just change the suit.
Yeah, but then they had to do that red and blue thing for a short time, which that was kind of cute because the gimmick was Venom had reached the number of Spider-Man issues that happened when Spidey became the black costume.
Yeah, and that's cool.
But I was like, okay, that's cute. You wanted to flip it.
But it just got old really fast.
Every decision keeps proving Ewing's just in it for a paycheck.
Yeah, and again, I don't blame Ewing. I just blame Marvel. Right, here is the suit design, which in their defense, it's not horrible.
No.
Right, so here it is. So yeah, it's like, I think that looks kind of cool. I like how her red hair kind of peeks out and stuff.
The thing is, though, this is an outfit that can be, like, this is by R.B. Silva. I kind of prefer the main artist on the cover. Again, this is definitely an outfit that's going to vary by artist.
Yeah, Cameron says, place your bet, boys. How long we think this is lasting? Not that long.
Not long. Again, how much stuff keeps on changing in this freaking book?
Yeah, I know. Isn't it kind of funny how every single time there's like a change with a particular Spider-Man office, we're like, what do they do this time?
By the way, what's it say? Oh yeah. Also, Inferno Hulk is only 10 issues.
Okay, that makes sense.
After Bleeding Cool did an article that made it like it's being canceled and rushed. But you've had PKJ and Neil Klein, the artist, both coming out saying, nope, this was the plan. Guys, calm down. This was always the plan.
Oh, by the way, apparently there is no Star Wars Marvel crossover happening in the comics.
Yeah, if you really look at the start of all that, that was a sarcastic comment someone made.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. But yeah, it's like, I'm like, guys, just admit just admit you're out of ideas and then just try and like reboot it or like bring in some creators that know what they're doing.
Or in the case of with Venom, Just let Al tell a story.
Yeah, I know. Stop. Al Ewing has the patience of a freaking saint, my man.
It has to be purely because of Immortal Sword. It has to be.
Yeah, because otherwise, at this point, if let me put it this way, if he didn't have Immortal Thor, there's no way Ewing wouldn't have just
tolerated any of this. No.
He would have been, I'm out. See you guys later. Peace.
I would have done it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. But it's like, why is Marvel doing this to Mary Jane? What's the point? Well, again, it's like, I think they keep trying to give her powers, but you notice the jackpot thing didn't work. So now they're like, let's make her Venom.
Say what you will, but Lois, she hasn't gone through as many as MJ has.
Yeah, but she did blackface once. Cameron says,
dude, I'm talking about present day.
I'm just kidding. Cameron says, well, technically she got the powers, lost them, and got them back. I got you there. Anyway, speaking of Venom, should we just go back to him being the only symbiote? No, I'm fine with them being multiple symbiotes. That's fine.
Oh, yeah.
It's like how there's like, by that logic, we should go back to only having one Lantern Corps.
Or one Kryptonian.
No, because there are great characters of the other symbiotes. That's fine. It's just when you can't go too crazy with adding in all this other stuff, but you have to have a plan. They don't have a plan. It's very clear they don't.
They clearly don't.
You notice how Marvel, compared to DC, historically has been the least well maintained in terms of the planning department.
Lately, not since BMB left.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, and then Tevin says, speaking of Venom, reminds me, where's Dylan Brock? Why can't we have him be a Venom?
Yeah, they've kept him to the sidelines for the most part.
And why can't they have him be Venom again? Because NJ is Venom.
Because here's why. It's because of the editorial keeps saying no.
Well, yeah, exactly. NJ says the love interests keep getting powers. Lois and now MJ. It seems DC and Marvel don't know what to do with it.
I say with Lois, you can make the argument there are better story reasons. With MJ, no, they're just throwing stuff at the wall.
Yeah, NJ. Ordinarily,
between the two of them, you tell Lois is intentional. Could you agree with me on that?
Let me put it to you this way. I would agree they don't know what to do with Lois as a character. However, comparing it to MJ, I'm more inclined to agree with you, Robert, because they had never knew what to do with MJ.
No, they don't know what to do besides do things right with her.
Yeah, well no. Yes, actually, Robert, let me rephrase. They know what to do. They just won't do it.
Exactly. They just won't do it at all.
Yeah, exactly. So are we saying BMB was the reason they had a plan? Well, yeah, because he was doing the amount of Marvel books he was writing and in charge of, he could chart the course of the overall universe. That's why you had all of his events felt built up to varying degrees, but better than they are now.
Let me double check something. I'm just going over my scans just to double check the Avengers books since he left. Which one was this? His right? Okay, after his run, then it was Hickman, and then it was it feels like after Hickman, Avengers stopped being the central killer book.
Yeah, exactly.
When you really think about it, once they had Mark Waid on it as a fill-in run and everything, it became less. Yeah.
But NJ wants to know if you read the Wonder Woman annual. So good.
Of course I did.
If you ever need a book to show one issue to show people this is who Diana is, it's that book right there. Granted, I could say about any issue of Absolute Wonder Woman, but I'm saying that in terms of the Wonder Woman thing, it's that. But anyway,
you get what I'm saying though. It's like ever since Hickman left, his event, Hickman's Avengers run was the last time where the Avengers were the pillar and everything was built around them.
Yeah, because here's the thing. I'm of the opinion that the team books, like your premier team books, like Justice League and Avengers, should be the book that dictate where the story is going in the universe.
Or even the Fantastic Four, because the Fantastic Four used to be that.
You can make that argument. I would say that as well. Your biggest teams, they should be the one that dictate where the line goes, where the story goes.
But yeah, and again, Hickman was the last time. And then you have Wade do it in for fill-ins. And then Aaron It was just nothing but let's just keep him happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm sorry, you look at it. Was there anything in it that that outside of its own run or its own little bubble did it do anything with the main Marvel universe? No.
No, not really. But it's like when you have like Secret Invasion, Secret Avengers, even Siege, all of that felt very built up to.
All BMB. You know what? Since we're talking positively, why don't we just allow to say it?
For this stream, we'll do it. All right. Yeah, so here's the thing. So
we're talking positive, no crap.
Because here's what you have to understand about where Marvel was at the time. The Avengers were not like the big team that they are today, even in the comics. Because the thing is, he came to Marvel and goes, "Why aren't your highest selling characters on the Avengers?" Like,
keep in mind, you remember this. But if you think in Perez, as much as fans love that run, it wasn't a huge seller.
No, it wasn't. That's my point. Now
people forget that.
Yeah, exactly. But then when you get to like, so he was the reason why Wolverine and Spider-Man were out on the Avengers. Marvel had said, well, Spider-Man's a loner, and then
team up.
Bendis goes, and yet one of his main books is Marvel Team Up.
They got man at the point.
Yeah, so I'm like, yeah, that's 100%. He's got a point. So eventually he got to do what he wanted to do, and then he started building. When you look at like Avengers Disassembled, his first story on the Avengers, Secret Invasion.
No thing is chaos magic.
Yeah, Secret Invasion is set up in that in that storyline, something that would get paid off years down the line.
Exactly. Right then, yeah, because they say that one scroll that was there was the starting point.
Exactly. So I'm like, oh, okay, that actually works really well.
I do find that's a little BS up to a degree.
And Tevia, Disassembled was okay. Tevia, why don't you think Disassembled was good?
I will.
Is it about there is no such thing as chaos magic?
It's beyond that.
Okay, go ahead.
It's the big definition of, what is the biggest difference between Jeff Johns and Bendis? Jeff Johns respects continuity. Bendis does not. And that's the whole thing. Wanda had long since moved past the twins. Even though her memory being wiped, she knew about them. He had to force that back in there.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
It forced the whole thing back into her history just for the sake of him, like, wait, what children? Just so she can go cuckoo. And let's be honest, she's never recovered from her break. And now that's become part of her character. She is completely unstable.
I see. That makes a lot of sense. I'll give you that.
Think about that. That's now the key reason why she lost, and she lost as a Zatanna in Death Battle, because she's too insane.
And that's where we also get like WandaVision like shows and stuff.
Exactly. That's where that came from. That was a Bendis creation.
Oh, boy.
And Bendis is also the one who started having Luke Cage curse. Why? He's black. Of course he curses.
Oh, yeah. That makes
sense. That's not what Bendis said, but you know what I mean.
Oh, didn't he also do the thing that like Giuliani did where he's like, the Avengers are just going to show up and just patrol an area of high crime?
Because he was trying to make it grounded.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah, and it's like, I understand that, and trust me, that run's not perfect. It's really good, but it's not perfect.
Oh yeah, I agree. It's really good. It's not perfect.
But the point is, that was where you could feel there was a plan and everything was building upon another. Everything mattered. Now look at this Doom event that just happened last year where they made Dr. Doom taking over the world boring. Where was that set up?
Fantastic Four. No. Blood Hunt. Sorry.
Okay.
Blood Hunt is when that first happened.
Yeah, but how far away was that even set up? That's the funny part about it.
No, that was it. It just came out of nowhere.
I know. That's the point there. And I'm like, what are we doing here?
Exactly.
But anyway, I think that's a good place to move to a topic.
Yep.
So let's talk about the Milestone stuff, because we still get, because here's the thing. So the and we briefly talked about this on Under Two Capes, but I think the problem with this whole conversation about the Milestone characters is and we have this problem a little bit to a degree with the like Wonder Woman like
I care about who she had sleep with and all
that.
No.
Or to like a significantly lesser degree, the problem is no one knows how these contracts work.
Oh, that, yes, yeah. Or in this case, just simply how the publication works.
I think people assume that if DC is able to publish these comics, then they have the rights to do it. And I go, no, that's not the way this works.
Let me put it this way: if that was the case, then someone explain to me then why did Static's New 52 run end shorter than anyone else?
Yeah,
remember,
exactly.
Those all lasted up to 12. Most of them lasted up to 12 issues. Static lasted 6.
Yeah, Tevia says, forgive my confusion. It's all good, man. But didn't we have Static Shock in the main DC universe now, thanks to the Kids All Right special?
Yeah, well, that's a setup. That's a setup, dude.
Yeah, it's a so yes, you are correct, Tevia. So yes. I'll give you that.
Yes, you are correct, though. But that was a setup for them, their big return. Which again, we don't know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's like, but the problem is, people assume that like if this thing sells well. And I'm sure that would help, but it's like automatically we'll get more books for these characters. But the problem is, again,
let me grab it. I got all of the recent milestones. I want to show you guys just how many books actually were made.
Yeah, exactly. And just says, do you want DC to completely buy the rights of Wonder Woman for the Martians? You think would have more advantages than disadvantages? Honestly, NJ, if my position on that is it would have more disadvantages. Robert, check out check out NJ's comment real quick. I think this would be a bad thing for Wonder Woman, because what you have to understand, that keeps like really bad pitches from becoming movies.
That's very true. That's very true.
Because
but
have you discussed the rumors about the cancellation of the Wonder Woman series? No, but we might as well.
No. Oh, they mean Paradise Lost?
Paradise Lost, yeah. And I'm like, it's so far, like, Gunn hasn't commented on it. So, but I'm going off of like, because here's the interesting thing about that TMO is like, because of like because of the way that DC Studios was set up, a lot of those initial projects were just left over from the previous regime, and Gunn was using them as placeholders. That makes sense. So it's like, because if you notice, when Paradise Lost, when the Wonder Woman actual movie was announced, that's when we stopped hearing all mentions of that Paradise Lost series.
Yep.
So that's kind of like that's kind of where I think that went. It's like it was meant to be a thing until they got a project, or if they didn't, they could just do it there. But yeah, it's most likely just a placeholder. What do you think, Robert?
I would agree with that. So it's like, well, we got an actual Wonder Woman movie going. Why do we really need it?
Yeah, now granted, it would be nice to see more Amazon stuff, but they could probably do all that stuff in the Wonder Woman movie. So,
by the way, 51 books. That's all they did since the relaunch.
Yeah, exactly. It didn't last. They made a big deal about it when they relaunched it.
And then it slowed down fast.
Yeah, they even had a segment talking about on the DC documentary, but then it's like it just vanished.
And they were building up to a Worlds Collide with Icon versus Hardware, and then that went nowhere.
Yeah. All these oh, trust me, Tabby, it is super confusing, but it's like all you need to know is that DC, as opposed to Wonder Woman, DC does not own.
They never own even a part of it.
Yeah, DC owns a part of at least Wonder Woman, but DC does not own anything associated with Milestone. People don't know that.
Never have.
Yeah, that's why it took them so long to get Milestone projects. Like even with the Static Shock movie that was supposed to come out a while back.
Well, yeah, that was purely a Milestone thing. DC had no say, no nothing with it. And anytime he appears in a show, they have to negotiate it.
Yeah, exactly. And then Tevia says, so I'm guessing Milestone anime movies probably never happening.
Well, no, it could if they wanted to. It's just, again, It's not something that DC can order them to do.
Yeah, it's like the ball is in their court when it comes to Milestone stuff.
It's always been in Milestone themselves' court, not DC's court.
Yeah, so if you want to blame people, instead of calling it Discrimination Comics, which Robert and I hate that, blame the Milestone people, because you can't tell me DC is not, because DC's only going off of what they're pushing.
Now that though, also quit assuming that just because they're, that black writers want to only write black characters.
That's true as well. Or like women only want to write female characters.
Or they should only write Wonder Woman.
Yeah, because it's kind of funny when you look at the runs of Wonder Woman that they aren't hated, but they're not like down regarded, except for Kelly Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Gail Simone and all that stuff. However, so Robert, who wrote one of the most famous Wonder Woman? In fact, the most famous Wonder Woman run?
Perez.
Yeah, and what gender was he?
Male.
Bingo. Anyway, but
sorry, just had to state. We're just stating facts, guys. That's all we're doing.
So NJ wants us to explain why DC does not completely buy the rights to Wonder Woman. Could be they're complacent. She's not, and honestly, could also be that she's not really a priority for the company.
I think they're already good with the way the contract is currently. It's fine, and let's be honest, it's a hard contract to break. And it's something that the Marsons would have to agree to. And I think they're content. They have something that they don't have to do any work.
Yeah, exactly. All they have to do is like approve scripts occasionally.
On occasion, and that's all they need. They do not need to do anything else.
Because again, here's the other difference between Milestone and Wonder Woman. Milestone is everything. Wonder Woman is just movies, TV, and everything, not comics. DC can do whatever they want with the comics.
Exactly. And again, as long as they just get their annual, royalties, they're good.
Yeah, exactly. Cameron says, honestly, if they go into Milestone, have it not be connected to DC. Just have it be on another.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. Yeah, exactly.
Now the case where they keep on they keep on starting to remerge and then they separate again, which is fine.
Yeah, I would say just keep it separate, because that way you can avoid that. But I agree with Cameron. TMO says, do you think the last time DC tried to reincarnate a Milestone universe was a failure?
No. Are you talking about what I was just showing? No.
I don't think it was a failure. I think they started it, had every intention of going through with it, and then they just I don't want to say lost interest, but it's like, essentially they were like, okay, we're good.
They couldn't afford to keep it going.
Yeah, and it's like, if you want it, and could DC help them out? Sure, but if you don't like the way
they've been trying to, why else would they be agreeing to do Worlds Collide?
Well, not only that, Robert, if people think that DC does improperly use their African American characters, do you really want to give them total control over them?
True.
You see why this doesn't make a lot of sense?
Their whole logic does not make sense. Since when does their logic ever make sense? Well,
since when is logic a thing?
Exactly.
The fact that they keep restarting the Milestone universe just doesn't work. Well, yeah, that is a good point. Inevitably, they're gonna have to just stick with it, and it's maybe take a break. And I get if they can't really afford to do it, but then it's they need to figure out a way to make it work. If they're gonna keep doing these characters, which do it because these are great characters. It's not like these are crappy characters.
Exactly.
But anyway, I think that's a good place to leave that. So let's get to the birthday Q&A. You guys can ask me any questions
right ahead.
you want. You guys can ask me any questions you want. But yeah, so Robert, let me ask you this. So what would you say in terms of what would you say is the character that okay, actually NJ has asked, are the Martians too difficult to work with regarding movies, cartoons? They used to be. Let me put it this way. They used to be the way the contract used to be originally is that Wonder Woman has to be the main character at all times.
I don't think that was even part of the contract. That's just what they wanted.
But obviously, you can't do that. If you want Wonder Woman to be in a Justice League movie, let me put it this way. There are some books where that works if you want to adapt it. Like League of One, you could do that. But it's she's barely ever the star of a Justice League. And I'll say
this, it was pretty unfair for them to have control over Donna when they didn't create her just because she fell into that family. That was unfair.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what?
I mean, it makes some sense, but at the same time, it's like that's the reason why she never appeared in Teen Titans in the show. In the comic tie-in she could, but not the show.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But Tevye asked, so I'm wondering, what did you guys do for your
Not mine. I did. Mine was like over a month ago.
Yeah. So for me, I just hung out and watched movies and went to the comic book store. So in terms
Oh wait, I gotta ask, dude. Dude, Spider Noir.
Oh, that looks good.
Did you see that trailer? Good. That looks so. Oh.
I have expected it to be in black and white, but I'm like, okay. And
they made sure it matched when they did the coloring. It matches the hue coloring you would have put over black and white.
That works. I like that.
Yeah, anyway. And I got plastered.
So here's what I got. I got one of the trades of JMS's Spider-Man run, The Life and Death of Spiders, with JR on art.
Nice.
I got the Sentry Omnibus with the David Finch cover.
Nice. I still need to get that if I could.
I got the Justice League Dark Omnibus, which is the Rebirth one with Wonder Woman leading the team.
Nice.
And the Death of Superman Absolute Edition.
But not the with the
Tombstone. I didn't pre-order the Tombstone edition.
Yeah,
for my Tombstone edition is another case, and then like a drawing of Doomsday, and then a polybagged.
There was a one of his his designs.
Yeah, I think it's also included in the back of the book. So
kind of like on the Marvel DC omnibus that they still included the other covers.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like it's pretty cool. I like it a lot. And yeah, so I got a couple of trades. I picked up my pulls. There's a lot of really fun stuff there. But yeah, and basically, yeah, I also got some more material for my 3D printer. So that's gonna be really fun.
Nice.
But yeah, so Robert, let me ask you, what do you think is the? NJ says so. They are totally okay with doing more. With more, yes, they are fine with that. They want that. It's
but they
just
need a
like
good pitch.
It's just they need a good pitch.
Okay.
People now here's the thing, NJ. Well, let me be clear on this. So Robert and I talk about it all the time. They need a pitch. Now, just because they get a pitch does not mean the Martians will sign off on it, because it could be it's a really crappy pitch.
And here's the other thing. Yeah, remember. Yes, there are plenty of people. I know you've said this before, NJ. Yes, are there plenty of people out there who could bring a pitch? Yeah. Are they actually bringing it? No.
Yeah, that's the big important factor there. By the way, TMO says, I'm curious that the Avengers of Doomsday took Hickman's idea of Avengers and Secret Wars, or as I call it, to show in detail and beautifully the Flashpoint ending in a non-script Clash universes. Yeah, it's kind of implied that they are going to do like a reboot of the MCU after.
MCU taking something from the Snyderverse? What a shock!
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like the second time they've done that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, including
only this time not so close together.
Yeah, exactly. Whose birthday is it? It's mine, Dave. But yeah, that's the. But yeah, it's like I wouldn't be surprised if that was the idea. They're like, okay, so we need to reboot everything and like merge it and like create a new universe. Flashpoint it.
Secret Wars just makes sense.
Yeah, and plus, even for those of you that know your Marvel history, that was when Marvel almost rebooted, or at least that's what Hickman set up for them.
Yeah, but you knew they were never going to.
Yeah, Tevye says, speaking of news, if you've seen the John Wick game finally happening, because I'm happy about that, and if it's a success, do you think we can get a Deathstroke game? Well, here's the thing: it's like
there's no connection to those.
Yeah, I was about to say there's no connection to the two. Now, do I think a Deathstroke game would be fun? Yes, I've always been calling for it. But again, it's like there's no direct like connection for that. It's not like the John Wick game does gangbusters, and then they're like, let's do a Deathstroke game. By the way,
yeah. I don't see how you can make that connection, Tevye.
Speaking of success, or not success in this case, did you see it was revealed how much money Snow White lost Disney?
You mean more? Was it more than we even thought?
$170 million.
Oh.
I'm like, oh God.
And by the way, Tevye, just to make it clear, Lionsgate owns John Wick. That's not even a WB thing.
Yeah.
I just want to make that clear.
Thank you, Dave. But yeah, exactly. Now, and again, does this mean that like a Deathstroke game can be fun? Are you celebrating your 30th birthday today? Yes, that's me. I am the big 30. I am the
Yeah,
Too.
yeah. My birthday was 41, so I'm 11 years older.
It's
I'm the old man here.
It's okay, Grandpa. It's all good. It's all. Come on, you kidding? I'm only kidding. Totally kidding. But yeah. So that was fun. But yeah, it's like in terms of like, and then NJ asked, do you think Absolute Wonder Woman and DCU Wonder Woman, if it's a success, could turn the tables for more Wonder Woman pitches and animation games and 2D projects? No. Hear the question, Robert. If Absolute Wonder Woman and the DCU Wonder Woman movie being successful, let's assume it's successful. What NJ's asking is that would that like inspire more people to give pitches? Yes, yes. I would say that's true. I think that's
I missed heard the DCU portion. I just heard the Absolute portion.
No, yeah, Absolute is helping. But once you get to the movie being, because you remember you
the movie, yes, hands down the movie will.
Yeah, the movie definitely, because you saw what happened when even the Gal Gadot movie came out, the first one, not the second one, definitely the first one.
Yep, and with that, and here's one thing I gotta remind people. Yes, the Dio was upfront about not being happy about it, but he never sabotaged it either.
Yeah, you know why? Because the president
He's not stupid.
Well, not only that, the president of DC at the time, Diane Nielsen, was very protective of Wonder Woman.
I could believe that.
So it's like you also had that type of protection from the head sheds. But yeah, that is very, very true. Is it kind of stupid for him to say that? Yes, but it's like.
But he said it. He didn't say it publicly, though. Notice that he never said it publicly.
Absolutely. No, I know it's popular, NJ. Trust me, I know it's popular. But I'm just saying, in terms of the general non-comic book reading art, because here's the thing: would I love it if James Gunn went to like comic book creatives and said, "Pitch me a Wonder Woman movie"? Sure, that's very rare to happen.
Exactly.
It has to be more general people that don't really know comics, but maybe know Wonder Woman, and maybe they're waiting for the right time for like to get momentum.
That doesn't mean they're absolutely not having an immediate influence. I mean, again, Brainiac is Gunn's Brainiac is going to take stuff from Absolute. But
I would not be surprised if in the Wonder Woman movie, Absolute Wonder Woman is some influence in some way.
In some way, yeah, probably.
Like she won't be from hell or anything like that, but it could be the way she's like portrayed, or maybe even the designs of some of the gods and such.
Hopefully that, as opposed to New 52.
Yeah, because here's the thing.
I do not want candle-faced,
yeah, on that, Robert, it's like I defend Brian Azzarello's run a lot because I think, again, particularly now that's basically an Elseworlds, I think it's really fun. But I will never like Poseidon being a fish man or Athena being an owl woman.
Or Old Man Ares.
Being Brian Azzarello himself. Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry. No, bring back the Perez design. That's one of the things that I did not mind about was Rucka.
Yeah, exactly. Or you know what's doing a great job of reinventing the gods is Absolute Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Like, remember, Robert, they did the candle Hades, but they didn't just make it the head and he's a kid.
Exactly. Which again, I don't get it.
I mean, Absolute Athena might be my favorite design of all the gods because that is awesome.
Agreed. And yeah, she's huge.
Yeah, she's very huge. And I love where Diana is playing chess with her, and it's just the helmet. Like that's awesome. By the way, Tavia says, question, speaking of news, that reminds me, did you see the news of Metal Gear Solid 4? Well, I'm not a Metal Gear Solid fan.
Metal Gear Solid 4, basically they finally announced Volume 2 of the Metal Gear collection, and that's going to include 4 and Peace Walker.
Do you know what I am excited for that was announced?
What?
They're doing a remastered Greek trilogy for God of War.
And yep. Oh, by the way, did you know who's not happy with the prequel game?
Who?
David Jaffe.
Oh, really?
But he makes a good point, though. This isn't the Kratos people want, and it's just like it's not. It's more story driven.
Yeah, I
it's a prequel, but it's before he became the God of War.
Yeah, exactly. Dave says, imagine if DCU Batman straight up adapts Absolute Batman and Wonder Woman to do something different with the characters. I would give Gunn props for that. I think doing the Absolute characters for the movies, that's a little too extreme for the general audience to take. Like,
by the way, I see Tomao's question. I may be that old, but I'm not. But I wasn't that big into comics when that was happening, so can't answer that.
Well, remember, Robert's time it was like Jerry Siegel and Joe Schuster. I'm only kidding.
I am not that old.
I'm only kidding. NJ says Persephone is equally good. Yeah, all of the Greek gods, they nailed the designs.
Agreed. But I just had to point that out, like about I'm like I got more into it in 2003. I was more casual up until that point. Mostly because my parents wouldn't actually buy the books. I had to wait until I was on my own before finally I was able to do it.
I see. There you go. That makes sense. But yeah, in terms of but when it comes to a lot of stuff that I see with the big two, it's like obviously, yeah. Now here's the thing: DC sales are not great. However. They dominated 2025.
The big time.
Like I cannot. That is indisputable in terms of like.
It wasn't just for a few months. It was the whole year.
Literally the whole year, because you had banger after banger after banger after banger.
Exactly. When it came, mostly because of Absolute. But I'm so convinced part of that was because you weren't having, you had everyone involved. There was no one being like, oh, they completely reset everything. I ain't being involved. They're taken out of it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, in terms of and it's like, because DC, and I have heard that Absolute is bringing people into the comic book stores. Now, whether or not those people inevitably start reading other DC books, that is debatable, but at least they're getting it. Like even Wes from Thinking Critical, who doesn't like the majority of the Absolute books, he likes Wonder Woman, but he said, look, I may not like it, but it's getting more people reading comics. That's what we want.
Agreed.
And Enzo asks, happy birthday. Thank you. And what should be Marvel's answer to DC's Absolute? Well, whatever the next Ultimate Universe is going to be.
Exactly. I was saying, they already have it.
They already have it, but it's it's kind of funny because Marvel brought back their Ultimate Universe before the Absolute Universe, and then DC's like, hold my beer, I got this.
Now, to be fair, though, DC was already working on that around the same time. It just took them longer.
Oh yeah, for sure. Tevia says, I'm super excited for God of War trilogy remake. It sounds amazing. Also, a bonus. Original Kratos is returning to do the voice.
Oh yeah, he is voicing in the prequel. He is.
That is awesome. I can't wait. And hopefully they release it on PC so I can actually play it, because I want to play the God of War.
So far, the prequel is only on PlayStation right now.
Oh, the prequel. No, I'm talking about like the trilogy remake.
Oh, obviously that's going to be PlayStation first, then prequel, then PC.
That's fine. I can wait. But yeah, I definitely want, or I can just buy a damn PlayStation at this point. But yeah. So what other quick questions do you guys have for me? But so it's like, the thing is, it's like when you look at like Marvel versus DC, Robert, it's like the dichotomy of man, because they both do their own like Ultimate Universes per se. Yep. They both do great for the companies. DC is like, let's keep it going. Marvel's like,
But now again, we don't know what's going to be going on going forward. Like, how's it going to end?
Because as far as we know, it could be just doing like an ultimatum like thing where it's still the same universe, it's just rearranged a little bit.
And because we already know it's all about the end of the Maker.
Yeah, Dave says, I'm happy DC finally has a successful Ultimate Universe line.
They've been trying so many times.
False starts like the Earth One line. The problem with the Earth One could have worked. They had two problems, but I see two as the main one. The infrequency of when they would release it, and B, the fact that some of these books could take place in the same universe, but a lot of them can't.
Yeah, and then they kept going back and forth with that.
Yeah, I'm like, then make up your freaking... Even in Multiversity, it links it as one universe, but I'm like, so you're telling me the universe ends with women taking over the Earth? Well,
again, that was before Morrison Curry decided that.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, what? Actually, speaking of state of play, are you guys excited for both? Well, again, I don't have a PlayStation, but that looks fun. I'll give you that.
Oh yeah, RE9. I am so cannot wait for that.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, let's talk about Earth 1 real quick, as a matter of fact, because Earth 1 had a lot of great ideas, and most of the books were pretty good.
Most of them, yeah.
Most. 2.5 in the case of Wonder Woman.
Oh, definitely.
Honestly, I would say all of the. I would say, well, I haven't read Teen Titans, but you've told me.
Teen Titans was. I wouldn't say it was bad. It was just too different.
Green Lantern was awesome. Too bad we're not going to get a third volume.
For legit reasons.
For legit reasons. It's not like any DS or DC BS-ery.
No.
Superman, all three were pretty good. I enjoyed all
Batman ones were my favorite.
Batman was great. Batman was God tier good.
I mean, come on. It's Jeff Johns.
It's Jeff Johns and Gary Frank doing it, and doing a beginning of the world Batman. That's pretty dope, if I may say so myself.
Now, here's one thing I've said before about the difference between, let's look at the Trinity's books, all right?
Yeah, okay.
The big difference is this. The Superman's trilogy ended too open-ended. It was way too open-ended.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
And Wonder Woman was too close-ended, but Batman was perfect in that it ended where it could end, but if you want to continue it, you could continue it.
If DC came to me around that time period and said, Jared, we want you to make the Earth 1 its own Earth, here's the way I would do it. You make it so with you kind of retcon Wonder Woman a little bit. So it wasn't like the entire Earth being affected, just like that city she was in. So it creates a new Themyscira, if you will. That way, you still preserve the basic spirit of the story, but you make it so you can put everything into one universe.
Exactly.
Because that's the one book that royally screws it.
Oh, even Green Lantern started to screw with it.
But Green Lantern, here's the thing about that you could say that took place in the distant future, though.
True.
So it's not like you absolutely had to to do that. And by the way, Dave says, I'm excited for the Castlevania returning from the Dead Cell developers.
I cannot wait for that. Dead Cell, they did a DLC with Castlevania, so it makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. So let me ask you this, Robert. So let's say you came in and you were in charge of fixing. I'll give you Spider-Man. How do you fix Spider-Man?
Well, I've said this before. I am not. When we brought this up once before,
not firing everyone.
Not firing everyone. Nor am I going to say immediately, undo one more day. Because one, I don't know where the higher up position is on that. Could I do it?
Well, the other thing is the only person that I think you could at least move is Nick Lowe.
Yeah. I would have Nick Lowe. I wouldn't fire him because, again, if I'm in charge of the Spider office, I wouldn't have that power to just fire.
Yeah, it would be more of, we're going to move. Essentially, we're going to trade you.
I would just simply say, I'm taking over, so you're gone.
I'm the captain now.
Exactly. I'm the captain.
Yeah, that's even what I would do if DC came to me and said, we want you to run Wonder Woman. I wouldn't fire everyone. Because also when you
look at going in, the assumption is we're taking over as editor anyway.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Let's say we're taking over full-on leadership. Because here's the thing. I would just say, Brittany, we're going to move you to a different book because you're great with Superman. Maybe you're not so good with Wonder Woman, so we're going to move you there. You're still useful. But it's like when it comes to fixing these characters, it does require, more so at Marvel, a full editorial reboot. Now it does not mean fire everyone. It just means a reboot essentially of how we do things here.
Agreed.
Man,
because I know we have to keep repeating that, but I'm sorry. The fact that that's always been a response some people have.
Yeah, exactly. So because that's everyone's question. I'm like, then no one's going to work for you. Like I was saying, even if I agreed that these people should be fired, if they also start firing everyone, I'm not going to work there.
Yeah, no one's going to work there. And he was like, oh, this replace one of my best buddies. That's even worse. That shows nepotism. You'll be fired. I think they're going to go collapse.
Well, and you could also be sued for that. Cameron says,
oh, yeah.
Say DC does a reboot. However, in this reboot, Damon was raised by Bruce. Would that go over well, or is he too tied to League and Talia?
I think that's too important towards character in general.
Yeah, you change too much to the core of the character if you make it where
that feels like something you would do in Absolute because it's so different from the get-go.
Yeah. Do you know any editor who is good and cared about Wonder Woman to replace Brittany?
No, it could be any.
It could be any. It could be any. Or you could just tell them. Well, here's the thing. You could tell Brittany that, like, okay, we're not going to move you, but you need to do more. You can't give like these writers carte blanche to do whatever they want. Exactly. Even if the writer's a friend of yours, you can't do that.
Exactly. Because you're the same, Brittany. We don't know all the even with Brittany, we don't know what's going through her head. We don't know what's going through any of the editors' heads because unlike Marvel, they're not so outspoken.
Because here's the thing: for all we know, let's say here's a way to think about it. It could be that King said, okay, at the end of my storyline, there's going to be time travel and I will clean up everything. Just let me tell my story.
Which is probably what happened.
Yeah. So I'm like, so that's a scenario where logically as a writer and as an editor, I could say, as long as the sales stay within a certain range, okay, fine.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously if the sales go down, like severely go down, then yeah, you have to say, no.
Exactly.
But it's like, as long as the sales stay within a certain window.
Which so far it has.
Which so far, let me put it this way. Again, I've said they're not going to make any drastic changes unless Wonder Woman drops out of the top 100. Then I say they start to
and stays there and stays there.
And stays there. Well, actually, from what I heard, the way it typically works is that if it even reaches there, they don't wait for it to move back up. And
yet they have before.
It probably depends on the situation, because I know that's what happened with Jeremy Adams, where his Flash book went down below once, and then they announced he was leaving, but then it got back up, but then they had already announced that Cy Spurrier was coming on.
Which was your boy? That was just so unfair.
That was so unfair. But yeah, that's kind of the way. But my point is, it could be it was like, hey, just let me tell the story. I will use time travel to clean it up. You guys can change whatever you want. That's it.
Yep, because I do believe time travel was involved from the beginning.
Yeah, whenever you have a story that's taking place in the future and Trinity has to like do, there is clear signs of time travel being involved. So I wouldn't be surprised if that was like.
And here's the other thing people have to remember as well. There's never a different. No matter whatever happens, you never have a set future. Never.
They could say that like this is a likely future or something like that, like with the Legion. But even then,
what the Legion is, but that's so far in the future,
Yeah, it's not going to affect like ongoing DC canon at this point.
And there's a reason why they don't usually say like they never say what the definitive end work for characters were in Legion stories, because then you get too definitive.
Yeah, and they're smart enough to know that limits the stories we can tell. By the way, NJ says that won't happen. So unless Wonder War is his last arc, I'm just saying. The point is, like, I'm assuming that the Wonder War is his last arc. So obviously that falls upon that. And I admit that. Again, I've told you guys before, I think Wonder War is the last arc. It may not be. Let me put it this way. There was a scenario where it's not, where they let him go to 50 because of the milestone. Now,
yeah.
Well, pun intended. But
he wants to end on a milestone, and I think that's probably better than nothing.
But the point is, all I'm saying is that because the way he's talking, it sounds like the Wonder War is the last arc. I could be wrong. Right? Dave says, what would you think of live action Absolute shows on HBO Max? No, I would say animated shows is when they could do all the Absolute show books.
Batman. I'm sorry. I can't think of any actor who could properly do Absolute Batman.
That's a good point. But again, I love in DCKO when Batman goes, "That's the ugliest bat signal I ever said," and then Batman like backs up and he goes, "So what do you think now? It's growing on me."
That is such a. Oh, by the way. Speaking of with King, what do you think about Fraction saying he wants to last to 100 issues?
That's not going to happen, brother.
Again, King got lucky. He was on it weekly.
And I'll say this, the point in his favor is that you are in a book like Batman. However, yeah, I say don't ever go into a book expecting to get 100 issues. Don't even say you want to get 100 issues. If they ask you how many issues you want to do, however many I am able to.
Exactly. Now, again, I think he was more saying, I have enough that I could go, not that he wants, it is going in.
Cameron says, would you guys say Perry is a set future? No, because didn't they move that to another Earth?
Okay, here's the thing. It's wishy-washy.
Yeah, that was
because sometimes they do have it be that is a future, but in other times they don't. It's wishy-washy. I think it's a case where Terry is set to be in the future, but who is his mentor is up in the air. Is it going to be Damien? Is it going to be Bruce? That's up in the air.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So I think Terry is definitely set to be, he is definitive canon, but everything around him is wishy-washy.
And NJ, the percentage that this is final arc, I'm at 70%, I would say.
I would agree. 70. Yes.
I think that's a fair like assumption.
Hey, his run is nothing to sneeze at lengthwise.
Yeah, let's say he ends at 40. That's still longer than most Wonder Woman writers get.
I mean, the fact that he reached 30 already shows that he's already reached at least the average for a long runner.
And Dave, I don't think he'll do that because even when when people talk to him at Comic-Cons, he says he's burnt out, which I can't blame him. And the movie, he says he's in a transition period trying to do more Hollywood stuff. And he said that like he didn't anticipate all this stuff taking up a lot of his time. So likely,
I can believe that. It probably came by too fast.
Oh yeah, and he couldn't have anticipated that Gunn was going to adapt practically everything he's ever done.
Exactly.
So, and this, Robert, it says a lot that I'm on King's side in this argument, right?
Yep.
But yeah, it's like, look, it's like, that's why I think 50 is the latest he stays on. The latest.
Agreed.
And I'm about 95% sure he leaves by 50.
Agreed. Oh, agreed. I completely agree.
So it's like, let's go with that. Tavia says, speaking of Marvel and DC, now that Marvel Gaming Division is doing so well, do you think DC should do stuff to catch up with Marvel?
They're trying.
They're trying. The Lego game is the first step, I think.
But you gotta remember this. Gaming takes time.
It takes many years for that to happen.
Now, granted, NetherRealms can probably get a game out lickety-split compared to others.
Well, here's the other thing with NetherRealms. The engine is relatively just plug and play.
Exactly. That's the reason why they were able to go back. They were able to go back an engine for MK1.
Yeah, so that's the difference because it's like it's the same type of game. It's just essentially changing the skins and stuff. I know I'm oversimplifying it, but from the outside perspective, that's what it looks like. So it's like it's a lot easier because you don't have to like. Let me put it this way. Here's an example with the Wonder Woman game. They had to relearn or teach these people how to use the Nemesis system.
Because so many of them had left.
So many of them had left, and not enough had worked on it. And then the people that were still on, they had changed the Nemesis system so much that they had to relearn it.
And they were doing stuff that they pitched they could do, but they weren't sure they could do it.
That's the thing. It's like, be careful what you promise.
Yeah, they basically they were so desperate to try and give a pitch so they can get money that they just said, "Oh yeah, we can do this and that. Can we? Sure. Can we do it? I have no freaking clue."
Sure we could. And then MJ says for 40 is the most likely. Hey, let me put it this way, MJ. I hope you're right. 100%. I hope you're right. I'm just not 100% convinced yet, or 90%.
Let me put it this way. Knowing King's ego, he would sooner do 50.
Yeah, well, he ain't getting 100. I'm 100% sure 100 is not happening.
Well, I know, but 50, I can see.
50 is the latest. 40, or like this way, I'm gonna make a bold prediction. 40 to 50 is when he leaves that window, whether it's at the end or in the middle.
Exactly, and here's the other thing is, if they want to do a relaunch, they're definitely going to do it to 50.
Not necessarily, definitely.
Because they want to make it there, because that will be 850. They want to do that. If they end at 40, that's going to be 10 issues, and then they're going to renumber it. They'd rather start at that number or end at that number.
Well, anyway, on that point, that's another consideration. But the point is, here's the thing. Either way, we are in the end times of this run.
Definitely. Oh, hands down.
So take that as comfort. No, 40 or 50 for our freaking sake. I hope it's 40. Okay, and you know what? Again, I hope you're right. It's just Robert and I aren't 100% convinced about that yet.
I've been around comics at least long enough and observed how the industry works to at least have a better, have a good gut feeling.
Yeah, the only a possibility of when they just cut it off even earlier is if completely like.
Yep, or some controversy like King's revealed to be in a wife beater or something, which I don't think so. But
I like this way, I'm not going to start accusing people because Lord knows there's a lot of people on Twitter that do that anyway. But
God, don't get me started on that.
Let me put it this way: if the book drops out of and stays out of the 200 list, yeah, he's gone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what number it is; they will kick him off the book at that point.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's like until that happens, nothing is certain. But it's
exactly. We have to remember that.
But the point is, we're in the end time, so we're just going to do this. And by Tevia says, actually, I am curious about something. How much do you think Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to make compared to Supergirl?
No,
I have no idea.
Who can say?
I think he'll be more successful because it's Spider-Man than Supergirl. But again, I'm like, I still have to see about that because you really never know with the movies.
It's not going to have as much nostalgia baiting, though.
It is going to have Hulk and Punisher in it.
But you're not going to have as much as, say, if you had another the Spider-Man again.
Yeah, that is very true. So that could hurt it at this point. So we really can't like make that prediction yet. We could in the future, but not yet. But anyway, so let's get some final questions in, and then we'll call it a night. By the way, Tevia, NJ says, with Trinity being the main Wonder Woman and protagonist of the book from 32, I think I believe. Okay, it could. NJ, I believe it could. Now, here's the thing: how long is Trinity going to be the main Wonder Woman?
Because that's the thing. You're allowed for a book like this. You're allowed an issue, maybe 2 issues, depending on where. And in the first issue of having someone else be the title character. There's so many times when you look at covers that says this character is the main character. I mean, heck, we're gonna have Superboy Prime as the head for Superman for a while.
Well, Robert, remember, John took over as Superman,
but then he also had his own separate book. I'm talking about within their own title.
Oh, yeah, that is very true. So, yeah, it's like, I want to say, because for all we know, that could just be 2 issues.
Or an issue and a half.
So it's like, because I think everyone's assuming that the Wonder War, except for like the last issue, is just Trinity.
I think this is a case where, because I don't think even King had to have 3 versions of Trinity running around to even tell a story in the mini. I don't think he could tell a book with just Trinity.
Yeah, no, it could be his ego, but still, yeah. And Dave, that's another thing. If he were named in those files, he would have been gone.
To be fair about those freaking files, you do know a lot of those files also just rumors or any type of loose connections too. Look at what happened with Tony Hawk.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he wasn't even directly connected at all.
Final question: when are you guys excited for the Hellraiser game coming out?
Have you?
I have no idea what Hellraiser is.
Yeah, I was about to say. This is like asking Tristan about the Knuckles show. Look at your audience and at the person you're asking before you actually ask that.
Yeah. But it's not my type of thing. But anyway, let's wrap this up. So, Robert, where can we find you? What have you got coming out, man?
Link down below. And this Sunday, I will be doing my 666 Pro Teachers New Lesson as I cover iZombie.
Yeah, and yes, we did, Cameron. We talked about it earlier in the stream. Do you like main Wonder Woman's interaction with Absolute? Yes, it was good, but she calls her.
I didn't get to lasso a horse.
Yeah, I love that. But yeah, and as for me, tomorrow for movie night, we're gonna be talking about what's the word? Oh yeah, we're gonna be talking about Conan the Destroyer. For Super Wonder Legacy, Britt and I are gonna be talking about how each of the different couples we've talked about would celebrate Valentine's Day. Amazon Answers, I'm giving a stream talking about all of Wonder Woman's love interests. Oh boy, that's gonna piss people off. And Wonder Woman Wednesday, I gotta think about what else I want to do with that. But yeah, and Athena ends on Sunday. So if you guys want to back the campaign, go to the description below. And then I really appreciated getting this book funded. It's been a dream of mine. But anyway, stay work, everyone. Remember, Lois Lane is Lois Lane. She belongs to General Zod. Zoe is the Max Vat for life. See you guys later. Bye-bye.